One of the things that I've become really interested in the last few years is the interview, and obviously they occur a lot. You have political interviews and after sporting events, it's classic. And it seems to be in many cases, certainly in the political coverage on the BBC that I listen to a lot and watch a lot. excuse me. That. In many cases, the questions that are asked, and you really get a sense when it works well, that the interviewer's got a sense that this is a person there who's got a particular worldview, and they've got something interesting to tell us, and they do their best to, sort of get that from them. I think there are some people who misunderstand it. For example, I always think the Reverend Richard Coles, he does kind of like a sort of a bit of a macho anecdote competition. So the guest says a story and then Richard Coles tries to top it, which I've gone to find out irritating and also unnecessary. But I think there's two things about these sort of interviews that are really important. First is that the interviewer asks good questions, so questions that enable the person who knows something about the thing to, share their perspective. And also that the interviewer gets the point. I will remember an interview with Neil Young, and they got him talking about his model train sales. I mean, you think, well, no. What I want to know is, is it true that you were Ohio as you did, or what was it like performing with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young in front of those huge audiences? What was it that made you so angry that you wrote "Rocking in the Free World"? It seems to be those sort of questions that kind of get the point. Because apart from anything else, that person's got a unique insider view. So one of the people I think that consistently misses the point is a guy called Gary Richardson, and he's a BBC sports reporter, and he's on quite a lot. And over time, though, I've come to get very irritated by what he does, because I think he breaks both those principles. He asks bad questions quite a lot, and also I think that often he misses the point. And I'll illustrate. I've got three. I'll just use one story here to illustrate that for you. So I think it was in 2018. South Africa played a test series in South Africa, and there was I don't know, you may remember the sort of ball tampering incident with sandpaper. There was a lot of massive hoo-ha. And there's, cut long story short, some players were banned, and then now we're up to over a year later, and the estimable Gary is doing an interview, his sports report on a Sunday morning, and he has Kim Hughes on. Now, Kim Hughes is, if you're cricketers, he's one of those people who's absolutely central in the 80s. He was captain of Australia, played quite a lot for Australia. So this is someone who's got insight, and also who always seems to me like a really nice guy. So anyway, Gary's got him live on the phone, and this to me is a beautiful thing. The interview basically is going nowhere really. Hughes hasn't got much to say about the ball tampering or anything particularly interesting in my opinion. And it's sort of dawdling along. But then what happens, which for me is so beautiful, Kim Hughes says, "Oh, that reminds me of a story about Ian Chappell." Now, for those of you, again, who are not into cricket, Ian Chappell's an absolute legend, macho player in the 70s and in the 80s, allegedly beat up Ian Botham in a car park once, famous for many sort of, comments. And so immediately, I'm with me Rice Krispies there, and he's got my attention. A story about Ian Chappell, fantastic, coming up. And I'm on the edge of my seat, and Gary, it's pretty way, remembering how dull this interview's been going, says, "Oh, I'm really sorry, Kim, could you mind asking the question about the ball tampering?" And then he says, "We've run out of time." And so Kim Hughes, quite understandably, is a bit upset and slams the phone down. And I'm left thinking, bloody hell, I was just this close to a first-hand anecdote about Ian Chappell, and bloody Gary Richardson has pulled the plug on it.